They decided to drive back to Park Ridge, Illinois. How would you like to drive to my town of Park Ridge, Illinois? Sure. Okay, let's go. They got in their car and started driving east. The sights surrounding them in the arid desert were both serene and foreboding. Cactus trees and rusty colors seemed allegorical of a birth, death, rebirth cycle. There's nothing like the desert. There's no place on earth like the American desert. I agree, it's both serene and foreboding. When I'm in the desert, I feel confronted by the imminence of death and the promise of rebirth. Me too. Your flowing hair looks gorgeous today. Thanks, it's so sad. What is? The fact that the Earth will be struck by an asteroid in 7 years. I agree. Is there anything that can be done about it? There's something that I didn't mention. There is? Yes, let me start, however, by letting you know that there's nothing, that if nothing is done, there's about a 70% chance that the Earth will be struck by an asteroid in 7 years. We could just wait it out and hope that it doesn't happen, but it probably will. What we can't do, if an asteroid is approaching the Earth, is fire nuclear weapons at it in space. That's good to know. First, I would have to tell NASA about it. Don't they already know? Thanks for joining. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a science fiction show that I wrote called Another Reality. No, only I know. I've been making observations of it, and with a telescope that is more powerful than any at NASA. Thanks for joining. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is a show that I wrote, the science fiction show that I wrote, called Another Reality. I've factored in gravitational effects and have come to the conclusion that the asteroid is on its way to Earth Part of me thought it would be romantic to just let it happen and make love to you as it happens. I agree, that is romantic. Well, what do you want to do? I'm not sure yet. Let's just keep driving to Park Ridge, Illinois for now. We could decide by the time we get there. Okay, sure. They continue to drive down Route 66 east. They had a wonderful afternoon. The evening arrived and they stopped at a roadside campground in Nevada to camp out. They walked around the campground and had deep conversations about the Earth's possible imminent demise, along with more uplifting topics. They had a wonderful evening. In a parallel narrative to this story, the denizens of the underground are meeting that evening at the top of the Space Needle in Seattle. Well, thanks for the thumbs up. I hope you all subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a show that I wrote, science fiction show that I wrote called Another Reality. Okay. The Denisons are also privy to the fact that there's an asteroid on its way to Earth and will strike it in 7 years. And in their telepathic communications, they agree that they want to find some of the most beautiful women on Earth and mate with them. To fulfill this, they fulfill this, they shall first murder the husbands and boyfriends of any of these women that have them, and subsequently pursue these women. They've decided to start with Seattle. There's a man named Ned Henderson who works as an interior design consultant at a company in downtown Seattle called Modern Homes. He has a beautiful wife named Bernice that they would like to mate with and bring to a newly discovered planet in the Andromeda Galaxy. Ned is sitting at his desk the next morning, working on new designs, as he is staring blankly at his computer and trying to get inspired. The door to his office opens of its own volition. A large levitating knife is moving toward him. The door to his office slams shut, and the knife is thrusting back and forth a few centimeters from his face. It is the denizens. They have telekinetically sent this knife to do their bidding. They have imbued this knife with alien sentience and the powers of propagation. As this knife is thrusting back and forth in front of his face, Ned imagines his whole life passing before his eyes. In one moment, he can envision every moment of his life, the good and the bad, juxtaposed into one moment. Suddenly, the knife starts stabbing into his left eye, carving it out of its socket, carving it out of its eye socket, and leaving it dangling from its optic nerve like a Christmas ornament. This compromised position of his left eye affords him an unusual perspective from which to view objects. Thanks for joining me. This is a show a science fiction show that I wrote called Another Rally. And I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a science fiction show that I wrote, science fiction type show that I wrote called Another Reality. His right eye, which is still in its socket, is observing the blood that is spurting out of his left eye socket. Gets up from his desk and gets bewildered stares in the hallway from some of his employees. He drops to the floor, screaming in agony and fighting for his life. Meanwhile, on that beautiful morning, Mike and Winona are walking along the ocean in San Francisco. Mike looks into Winona's loving eyes with the most heartfelt of human passion and love in his eyes as he leans in to kiss her. Let's just walk along the ocean and enjoy the morning. Sure. Mike and Winona continue to walk along the ocean. They had a wonderful morning. Meanwhile, back in Ned's office, Ned managed to get up off the floor. His left eyeball is still dangling by its optic nerve from his left eye socket, giving him a unique visual perspective. Not unlike a shifting camera in a movie. With his right eye, he looks out the office window in contemplation of his brutal morning. He sees one of the denizens helping a beautiful woman into a green Corvette. Upon closer inspection, he sees that it is his wife Bernice that has helped that he is helping into his car. He had apparently seduced her. They rapidly drive off into the morning. Ned runs out of the office with his left eyeball flapping all over the place to try to catch them. When he gets there, they're gone. He's so distraught, he decides to stop at a coffee shop to ponder the situation. He walks into Penelope's diner and sits down at a table. And in a booth across from him, he sees Mike and Winona talking and smooching. He looks at Mike to speak to him. Excuse me? Oh, hi. Oh, hey, Cyclops. Don't call him Cyclops. The poor guy has his left eye pulled out of its socket, and it's dangling by its optic nerve. Like a Christmas ornament. Yeah, Christmas is several months away. They took my wife. Who took your wife? Those hideous gray creatures. Did they have huge, light green, protruding eyes and dress in black robes? Yeah. It's the denizens of the underground. All of a sudden, a levitating knife propagates into the coffee shop through the front door. It then proceeds to viciously stab Ned in the back. Blood starts spurting out of him, profusely, like a volcanic eruption. The situation is so traumatic for Ned, he starts laughing hysterically. It's a human defense mechanism. They all look out the window and see the denizen with Ned's wife. They're on the sidewalk a few feet away from the coffee shop front window. They both look at Ned and start laughing. I'm gonna fucking kill them. Mike and Winona wrap some gauze around Ned's back to stop the bleeding. Ned runs into the coffee shop in an attempt to catch the denizen and his wife. They are long gone. After a minute or so, too is Ned. These denizens must be after people's wives. Yeah. When I look deep into your eyes, I am suddenly transported to realms of unmitigated pleasure, so profound that they transcend any physical pleasures that can be had on earth. These pleasures are further heightened by the discovery of absolute truth and the fulfillment of our destiny to be together eternally. I feel the same way. Let's take a walk around town and enjoy the rest of the morning and the afternoon. Sure. Mike and Winona walked around town for the rest of the morning, and they had a wonderful afternoon. And into the afternoon, they had a wonderful afternoon. The next morning, they decided to go to Penelope's diner for breakfast. Again. They got a table by the front window. Before they placed their order, something gruesome before they placed their orders, they saw something gruesome happening on the sidewalk in the front of the Penelope's diner that attracts police wonders they see something gruesome happening on the sidewalk in front of Penelope's diner that attracts their attention. It is Ned. He is being attacked by levitating knives coming at him in every direction. He is desperately jumping around trying to avoid being sliced up by these knives that have been telekinetically sent by the underground denizens to do their bidding. Both of his eyes have now been removed from their sockets and would be flailing around wildly by their optic nerves if Ned didn't have them held up in his hands so he could see. Some of the knives made contact with his skin and gouged away at his flesh like there was no tomorrow. And some missed. He seemed to be in an awful lot of physical pain, but was curiously not dead yet. He seems to have some kind of superhuman power over death. It seems as though he must be biologically superhuman. Mike and Winona continue to watch him get viciously assaulted by knives and run away. Wow, yeah, that was something. They ate their breakfast and went out to take a walk. It was a beautiful morning. Your beauty transcends any possible earthly beauty. Your physical beauty is made more beautiful by a transcendent soul that illuminates it from within. To be with you is to have my soul transported to realms of love where the only feelings are of love. They take a walk around town, enjoy the morning. Sure. Mike and Winona take a walk around town. They had a wonderful morning. All right, so thanks for tuning in to my latest live stream. I hope you join me for my next live stream. Thanks, bye.